It's about 90 in here. Hello YouTube, Jerry Kirkpatrick here, and originally I was going to make a video just on the DJI wireless microphone that I just got a week or so ago and only opened it up yesterday. But I know that a number of people that watch my videos are also people that just build stuff, either machinist, welder, metal shapers. My audience is fairly broad, and a lot of them are making their own videos. So what I've decided to do is go through all of the stuff that I have either made or just use to make my videos. I know when I've watched other fellows' videos, every time I can get a glance at how they've got a camera set up or how they're getting a particular shot, I'll stop and go back and look at how they arrived at the shot that they got. If they had to make something that will get the camera in a certain place or whatever. And if you're watching this and a maker, if you're interested in this also, I would suggest sharing this particular video with the people that you watch. I know getting a lot of the shots that we need are difficult to get because there's either a machine in the way, or when you're trying to do something, the camera's in your way. So this video might help you in figuring out how to get those shots, and I think you should share that with the people that you watch. Spread the wealth, if you will. But I'm pretty sure you'll see some unique stuff in this video, and I will definitely be going through the new DJI mic, wireless mic, that I just purchased a little bit later as I go through some of this other stuff. And I would suggest that here on YouTube, well after you finish this video, obviously, you just dial in DJI and you'll just get a wealth. I mean, a large number of videos on this mic. It came out about a year ago, so most of what you'll see is a year old, and that's fine. There are a few that are showing how to update the software. So let's go through some of the equipment that I use for making my videos. And the very first thing I got, I had a couple of fairly cheap cameras that I got at Walmart. That's how I started this channel. And I used those exclusively, just two cameras, for 2 or 3 years, I would think. But one thing that I did get to upgrade those cameras was my Saramonic microphones. This is the Cinder. The lav is here. The receiver is on the camera. So, and that has worked excellent for many years. Ever since I got it, I've had no problem with it whatsoever. For a couple of years now, I have been wanting the Rode wireless mics that I've seen on a lot of other channels. The reason I didn't purchase them was because you had to download another app onto your computer if you wanted to make any changes to the mic itself. You had to plug it into your computer, manipulate it in whatever fashion you need, and then you can unplug it and get on down the road. For me, that would be a problem because my office is and computer is 150 feet away from my shop here. So that put me off quite a bit. The other thing is you got 2 senders and 1 receiver, and you had to charge each of those independently. You had to, for me, I'd have to find places to plug it in. So that kept me from getting the Rode, and I'm glad it did. And just, I would say maybe a month or so ago, on one of the channels that I watch about equipment for making YouTube videos, they showed the DJI mic, and like in 3 days, I purchased it. I just got it in the mail a couple of weeks ago and just opened it yesterday. I've been so busy with other stuff in the shop. The main piece that brings everything together is this tablet here. It is a Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus 5G, and this thing is amazing. I can make a video, bring it into my computer, isolate an area, bring it into here, and I can do annotations. I can draw arrows and circles and squares and do all sorts of stuff like that. Just this thing has a pen, so you can be fairly precise with whatever it is that you want to do, and then bring the piece that you've manipulated back in and then put that into your video. The editing software that I use is Pinnacle, well, it's by Corel Pinnacle Studio, and I'm up to 26. And I started with my very first video was in version 8. So I haven't made all of the updates. Only when I saw something that I could really use would I go up to the next version. My main camera is a Canon, and it is a Rebel SL2 EOS 200D, and I've had that for about 5 years, and I'm very happy with it. I haven't found anything that I wanted to do in regards to close-ups and different angles, all of the stuff that I need to mount to it, and the sound is just fine with the Saramonic mic that I have now. I don't know that I need anything else. A camera is not something that I'm looking forward to purchasing anew. So that brings me to the DJI. microphone that I just purchased. If you notice, when you first open the case, these 4 little lights in the front tell you how much charge is in the case itself. And each of these is a quarter. So you have full, 3/4, half, and a quarter left. Also, when you open it, you can see on the top of the receiver that both of the senders are already paired. They're ready to go as soon as you take the sender out of the case. It tells you how much charge it has and how much recording time you have left in both of the senders if you choose to use them standalone, which is a pretty nice feature. You also have a clip that you can slide into the receiver and mount it right straight on your camera. There's another one that you take that shoe off, slide this other adapter in, and you can use it on an iPhone. And what I particularly like is it has a USB-C adapter that you slide into your receiver, and you can use it on anything that has a USB-C. I can use it on my phone. I can use it on my little camera here. Whatever you need to do, it has an adapter to fill your needs. Be sure to take a while and dial in DJI mics and take a look at them. You'll see all of the features. I'm not a tech guy. I can't tell you all the stuff that it does. It's amazing. The screen where you can change stuff is right on the front. It's a touch screen, so you don't have to take it into your office or to your computer to make any changes. This has a USB-C on it, so you can plug this in. You can keep your the container charged up, and you can get 14 hours, if I'm not mistaken, 14 hours of time by what is in the receiver and the sender. I think that's like 4 or 5 hours, but you can set it back in here, it'll recharge, and the total number of hours is about 14. And I don't think you'll be doing 14 hours of recording in any one day. The phone that I use quite a bit for stills and second shots. If I'm wanting to do a close-up, if I have the camera back but I want to take another shot at an angle or above or whatever, I can use my phone. And it is a Samsung A50 and it's running Android. When I want to do some welding, if I'm doing a project that is using flux, I don't care whether it's cast iron, brass, aluminum, whatever, I have a lens here that on this side has a blue lens under a green, and with that it removes the flare from the flux. You know, when you're welding or brazing with flux, there's a yellow hue around it. On the other side is just the green glass for welding with the oxyacetylene. So all I do with this, I use a plastic pony clamp, and there you go. Now I can, on this side with the blue, I can film anything I want that has a flux. If I'm just welding oxyacetylene, I just turn this lens around and I'm shooting through just a green lens. If I want to do some MIG or TIG, I just use this lens, which is a green, and I think it's like a number 10. So that works well for arc welding, electric welding. So one problem with using my phone and a single microphone, the Saramonic, which I've used forever, is if I'm using the phone as a second camera, then I can't, it's very difficult to match the two up. You have the main roll there, a secondary here where you have a close-up or overhead or whatever it is, but you have to get them synced. So if I'm speaking in the main camera, but my hands are doing something in the close-up camera, the waveform on the phone is almost non-existent. You can see very, very few little high spots or something. On the main, because I have the Saramonic, the waveform is quite pronounced. So the way I synchronize those two, and this is usually over here where you can't see it, it's just a block of steel and a hammer. And before I start, I get both cameras started, and that will put spikes. That will put 3 little spikes both on the phone that I can see, 3 little spikes on the main camera, and then I can line those up. And that's how I coordinate both sets of film that I'm trying to edit. So I'll get it lined up perfectly right at the start, and then the second film, I'll go down a ways and just cut it, and I don't care where it is. But every time I make a cut or modify anything, I will join them and then move everything as a block. And that's how I keep up with running 2 and sometimes even 3 different videos at the same time. And when I'm starting a video, I have a clipboard with all sorts of numbers on it. And it's not as important when I'm only using one camera, but when I'm using 2 or 3 cameras, I will make sure that this is pronounced when I start this camera, and then I'll change it over to another place, start that camera, and then if there's a third up here, I just lay that down and start this camera. And that way, when I'm looking to find which camera goes together, all 3 of them, I just look for the number that is the same. There may be several of them with on the main camera that the number sequence goes up, and then all of a sudden I'll find a number 5 on the main camera. I look at the second camera, I can take 5 and put it down there, and I know that those 2 are related. So I learned that the hard way. It was hell trying to remember. I couldn't look at timestamps or anything else, so I just had to kind of guess at which sets of film went together. The next thing I have is 2 of these ESDDI lamps, and they have a 1/4-20 place here on the bottom, so you can put it on any camera or mic stand or tripod, and they're pretty bright. You can take these through the whole spectrum. You can bring the brightness up and down, anything you want. These are pretty neat. I keep one on the main camera, and then this one I can move around if I want to take some still shots. I can use this, put it on a tripod, and point it exactly where I want it. And then the other two lamps that I have are, well, I used to use those ones with the 3 panels that you can get at Costco. I used those for a year or so, but you always had a shadow. You had one coming in one way, one coming in the other. It did pretty good at doing away with the shadow, but it was always there. So I got these boxes with the deflectors, and I can turn them on and off before I start shooting, and those are pretty neat. They're, as you can see, there's almost no shadow whatsoever. Under that is about the only place that I see a shadow, and that's because this piece is so close to the carpet here. So the next thing I have is what's called a Mevo, and it's by Logitech, which is an excellent name, and I'll be showing you how I use this a little bit later when I get over to my yellow stand, which is going to be quite interesting when we get over to that. This Mevo is what you might call a dumb camera. It shoots in 1080. You can use your phone to start it and stop it. In fact, everything has to be done through either the phone or a tablet. You turn it on, get it mounted. You look at your phone to see where you want to point it. It doesn't even have a screen. This thing is neat. It has a microphone, which is not very good, but you can plug your microphone into the back, and it has a USB-C, so I can use my adapter on the DJI receiver and just plug it right in and make any shots that I want. This is excellent for doing overhead shots, and over on the lathe or mill, it's fairly light and it can be manipulated. All I have to do is set my phone down, prop it up so I can see it, and then watch my phone, and then get the camera pointed exactly where I want it. Hit record on the phone. When I'm done, stop it. There's a mini card in the back. I just take that out, put it in the adapter, put it in the computer, download. This, if you want a second or a third camera, this is the thing to get. And it was made primarily for doing several shots, like at a baseball game. You'll have like 3 or 4 of these in different places around the field, and you can run everything off of a tablet or your phone, and you can choose which camera you're looking at. I only have one, and it's all I need. This is the one that I use for all of the shots that you see, well, not all, for some of the shots that you see beside my main camera. So that's a Logitech Mevo. Okay, and the next piece is what's called an Obsbot, Oddbot. And what it does is it will follow you around. You turn it on, and when the little light here turns blue, it's going to follow you. So you can walk wherever you want. It goes almost, not quite, almost 360 degrees. So if I'm working, in fact, you saw it once, I was working on the table, I think it was, and I went over to the belt sander, and you saw the camera follow me over there. Well, this is what I used for doing that. And this, I can mount my Mevo, and it will follow around. I can also turn this way and mount my phone, so I can see where I'm going with this. If I have the Mevo mounted to the Obsbot, then I can have my phone near and kind of monitor where this is looking. So if I need to change something, I can change it on the fly. I don't have to wait until post to get the video out and say, oh man, I missed it there. I can look at my phone and know if I have to retake the shot, or even as I'm walking, I can see that the camera is keeping up with me. If I walk too fast, I see it trailing, which it doesn't. I haven't seen that happen yet. I can slow down or speed up. I can do anything I want, and I can see what I'm doing with my phone if I'm using the Mevo with the Obsbot. And I'll be showing you this a little bit later also. So the next thing to look at is my yellow stand that has taken several years to perfect, to get to where it is now. I can't think of anything that I need to do to make it more useful. So here is my yellow stand, and it looks complicated. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on, but there really isn't. There's this one piece that will clamp to the top with a long arm that comes out to here that I can screw my Mevo to. Screw it right on there, then I can shoot anything I want. Just by loosening a thumb screw, I can turn it down, and now I can get overhead shots. Really simple piece, but it's very useful. It'll accept anything with this little tab, anything with a 1/4-20, which is almost everything having to do with a camera, and it comes off quite easily. So this is usually hanging over by my lathe. I don't even have it up here unless I'm wanting to have an overhead shot or a long distance shot or something like that, where I want to use the Mevo so I can have it mounted, and then I can use my phone and be somewhere else and make sure that the shot is correct. So I have this adapter for my overhead shots or mounting any camera actually, but the Mevo is what goes on there most of the time. I also have this. This is an adapter for sound. This end will go right into my Canon. The Ceremonic comes into here. so I'm feeding straight into the camera, and then this one will plug in with this adapter into my phone, or I can take this adapter out. If I have the Mevo on here, then I can get sound from both my main camera, the Canon, or good sound, so I can match the waveform and match up the Mevo or my phone. So with this whole arrangement, I have one cord coming in, but I have two adapters. I guess these are USB adapters, and both of them have two places to plug in a USB, and one of them is so I can turn on the light on either one, depending on which I want to use, and the other cord is so I can plug in my phone, has a USB-C, so while I'm filming I can be charging or have electricity going to my phone. And the same thing over here, I have a USB-C, so I can charge my Mevo while I'm doing any recording on that. The neat thing about this is I can unplug, and this is held on. Yeah, let me take this other one off here. This is held on with a clamp, obviously, and it has like a Noga adjustment on here. So I can put this anywhere on the stand, and just by loosening let's bring it down some. Just by loosening this, I can place my camera or my phone or camera anywhere I want it. I can get any kind of shot that I want by using this clamp with the Noga, with the or Noga style. This comes as a unit. You can find that on Amazon. And the halo lights, those are cheap as heck. I had to make, for where I use my camera, I had to make this little sheet metal piece, and it's screwed on to the halo where a mount usually is, and then this spring mounted telephone shoe is mounted to this. That gets my camera in the center of the halo there, and the Mevo will screw right onto this, and this I can adjust. This is a ball also, so I can adjust this anywhere I want it, tighten it up, and the camera stays there. The next thing is I use usually my Mevo over on the lathe, but I'm going to take the phone apparatus off, and I'll meet you over on the lathe. So here I am, obviously, over at the lathe with the clamp and the Noga type adjustment here, and this particular halo lamp is for my phone. The other one is for my Mevo. So I can just slide this on here. Tighten that down. I can put my phone in and adjust it to get almost any shot. In fact, if I turn that, I can get way down, way close to the ways, or I can move this over and shoot straight down on the chuck or the tool bit or whatever. I don't like mounting to the lathe itself because you always pick up that vibration. So I have this tray here that goes all the way from almost to the tail stock all the way to the head, and then all I have to do, I can plug in my phone, is run this over, plug it in, and then I have my light and everything right where I want it to be. This having that yellow stand with a halo light for my phone, and then another one for my Mevo. That yellow stand is almost a must. It goes anytime that I'm not shooting at that table. That yellow stand is probably pretty close to where I'm shooting. You'll notice in a lot of them, a lot of the videos that I make, you'll see a long shot with the Canon, and then there'll be some other shot, a close-up or a different angle. Well, that second shot is coming off of that yellow stand, either with my phone or the Mevo. So here you are watching me on the Obsbot that will track me, and you're hearing me on the DJI microphone. And then over here on the main camera, my old Canon, you're listening to me on the ceremonic microphone. So the Obsbot is following me no matter where I go, but the main camera can pick me up and see what the Obsbot is doing. So right now you're listening to me on the old microphone, and right now you're listening to me on the DJI microphone. So right now we are talking on the DJI little receiver. The receiver is plugged into the camera for the first time. I hope this is working just fine. This is the little bitty sender, and I have the magnet that I had underneath my shirt when I had this sender on my shirt. What I did is I took the magnet and you put it on the bottom, and it'll just stand up like a little microphone. So here it is over by my tablet, standing up. I could lay it down. I could probably put it over somewhere else, but the thing is so small and it weighs almost nothing, so you can put it anywhere. You can take the sender itself, put it on the inside of your shirt, and then the only thing you'd have on the outside is that little magnet, which would be no more obtrusive than the lav mic. So with all of that, with everything you've seen here, the one thing is that I will not be using the DJI mic exclusively. I will probably, even though I have to charge the batteries, but on the, I think I will continue to use the Saramonic as a second mic. Earlier I mentioned that if I'm doing any video on my phone, that I have to use a jumper from the Canon camera over to the either the Mevo or my phone, in order to line up those tick marks that I make with the hammer. Remember that? If I use both the Saramonic and the DJI, I don't care which camera it's on, but I should have a good sound wave that I can match up when I'm using 2 or 3 cameras. If you found something in this that will help a friend or somebody else that you watch, I know I watch a lot of other fellows like me that are just, you know, a mechanic, a welder, whatever it is, machinist. I watch a lot of other ones. So if you watch some that you think will get something out of this, please share it. Or after you watch one, say, hey, why don't you watch this video? Anyhow, if there's good information, let's spread it around. That's all I can say. So thank you very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have a cup of coffee. That's what gets some of this equipment and allows me to do videos, hopefully more on a regular basis. Become a patron. That would be excellent. The next probably set of videos that I will be doing will be finally putting the ceiling in the shop here, getting ready for this winter. Also, I've got a cord of wood coming in. I've got to get that placed. I've got 2 different places that I've got to fix the roof before the rains come in. So I've got a few projects to get done before the rains begin. So thanks again for watching. See you later.